Canterbury and Parramatta, the Winfield Cup on Wide World of Sports.
In the 1980s, the Parramatta and Canterbury clubs dominated the competition, winning 8 titles in a decade. Things have been a little bit lean since then. At the beginning of this 1993 season, both teams have begun on a very promising note. Today, it's almost a return to those great clashes as we welcome you to the Belmore Sports Ground for our final game of this Easter weekend between the Canterbury Bulldogs and the Parramatta Eels. An enormous crowd here, magnificent atmosphere. As you can see, a multicultural family day put on by the executives of this Canterbury club. Paul Vaughton, a return to those halcyon days for these sides of something like 10 years ago.
It's a great day for rugby league here today. Canterbury so far undefeated. They're looking to keep that record intact. Parramatta just the one loss. Both of these sides have beaten Brisbane this year. That's something going in their favour. Both sides have got the best defensive records in the competition, 32 points and 34 respectively. It's going to be a great game.
Some fine young players on show today, but do you again see the senior players in the sides maybe having the major influence?
You look at Terry Lamb for the Canterbury side. He's the best player on the field, no doubt about that. For Parramatta, Paul Dunn's going to lead their way. I'm expecting a fairly open type of game with plenty of ball movement. I'm going to stick with Canterbury in this game.
Well, these are two sides that have never denied that they are fierce rivals. And as Paul Vaughton pointed out, some interesting statistics going into this game. Parramatta, the best defensive record in the competition. On the other side of the coin, Canterbury, the best attacking record. Really sets up an intriguing battle.
Thank you, Peter. Canterbury-Bankstown takes the field, led out by Simon Gillies. He plays his 100th great game today in front of a monster crowd. Very good chance the ground record crowd has been broken here. There's the team. Goodwin, Dallas Smith, Pat Moore comes in for McCracken, Williams, Lamb, Polomounta, Hill, Peach, Bella, Gillies, Smith and Dimmick, and Chris Anderson as the coach. Tremendous atmosphere here under blue skies. 100 great games, as I said, for young Simon Gillies in the number 11 shirt. And now Parramatta, really a day of decision for them. Let's have a look at their side. From the back, it's Mann, then Ericsson, Muchmore, Butner, Oden, Ryan, Tollett, Galbraith, Dunn, Flanagan, Fernley, Blair, Weston and Horrow, and Michael Cronin is the coach. Sterlo's already pointed out that these two sides, they held pride of place through the 80s. 8 premierships between them. And on the sideline, Gene Miles.
Beautiful day down here, Ray. If anything, a little on the Wolves side. What breeze there is will be favouring the Canterbury Bulldogs in the first half. And this being the Canterbury's first home match of the season, they'll be out to impress their many, many supporters here today, who are also here to pay tribute to the great Terry Lamb, who is having the Terry Lamb family hill named after him.
Terry Lamb, cynosure of all eyes here today. They opened the hill area up and they named it the Terry Lamb Family Hill, and it is a very big family today. And there's just a section of this crowd, probably around the 27,000 mark. The ground record crowd is 26,120. Canterbury are going to be running from right to left. I was talking about Terry Lamb just a few moments ago. 186 games for Canterbury. Greg McCallum's in charge. Unbeaten Canterbury. They need this today to remain top of the table jointly with St George. Ground in perfect condition. Breeze. Just a gentle one coming from behind Canterbury. The Goodwin will start, and there's the kick-off. 99th clash between Parramatta and Canterbury since 1947, when the Eels came into the Sydney Rugby League competition. Cameron Bear plays the ball.
Ray, there'd be little doubt that the ground record would go today. They closed the gates at 2:30 here this afternoon. So plenty of people coming out on this Easter Monday to support two sides going very well. A couple of changes for the Parramatta side, as you pointed out. Big test here for this man, Colson Tollett, who's had his kick charged down by Geordie Peets. Is able to regain and get 6 again.
Mark Horrow. Fabulous weekend for crowds outdoors in Sydney. 26,000 Friday night, 38,000 to the races on Saturday. Record crowds continued at the Royal Easter, and now it seems certain we've got a record crowd at Belmore for the Easter Monday Rugby League. That is Fernley. Flanagan's the dummy half, and back for the boot of Tollett, bouncing down and standing up just outside the 20-metre line. Goodwin, and that's a penalty to Canterbury. Parramatta were well inside the 10.
Yes, if the ball bounces back towards the chasing team, they have to make sure that they regroup. Parramatta players chasing there kept the straight line. The ball bounced back towards them. That put them inside the 10. Second penalty of this game, or first penalty, I'm sorry, goes to the Canterbury side. Blue Goodwin will find touch inside Parramatta area. Does just that.
Tap taken by Geordie Peach. And Martin Bella, he's been in fine form this year. Gavin Hill, one of the players that helped promote this tremendous day for the Canterbury club. Jim Dimmick. Both sides just feeling each other out, waiting for the first semblance of a crack in the defensive line. Lamb away for Bella. Slammed to the ground, and he's only just got possession. Peach is the dummy half. Lamb the first receiver. And now they go to the air. A test over there. Ericsson lost it, but the penalty has been awarded to Parramatta. Canterbury, in front of the kicker, came inside the 10.
Yeah, he's got the outside backs of Canterbury for being offside when Terry put the kick up. I actually thought they were okay. And there's Darren Smith out wide. Maybe he's the man who's been caught.
Tap to be taken by Flanagan, and this is young Dallas Weston. He's come in for some very high praise from some of his peers during the week. Paul Dunn, formerly with the Canterbury club prior to Penrith, now Galbraith.
Expect a very good clash from the back row. As you mentioned, Dallas Weston. Jason Smith is so impressive in their win over Brisbane in Auckland that particular night. He's got all the skills. Gillies, a big day for him, and Jim Dimmick has settled into this Canterbury attack very, very well. Some big defence here from the Bulldogs early on. Very difficult for the Eels to get out of their own half of the football field.
Tulson Tollett brought up into the side off the bench with Michael Speechley unable to fulfill his job today. Now from Parramatta, away and running to the right of the ground is Jason Williams. Pizzas now to the acting half. Darren Smith, wearing that headgear on a regular basis since he took a terrible hit here on a Saturday night during last year. Now with Lamb, Bella gets it up and over the halfway mark. Taken to ground by the much smaller Robert Muchmore. Lamb again and again. Muchmore put some pressure on Lamb, and that was good work. It's gone down over the dead ball line. It'll come out to the 22 for the restart.
No, it's been touched, Ray, by the Parramatta players, so it'll be a line dropout. Muchmore got his hand to it.
Well, that mightn't have been fine work. Now, with hindsight on our side.
It's one of those areas, if you go for a charge down, you've really got to come up with possession. On that occasion, you see Muchmore getting to Terry Lamb, trying to stop him from kicking the ball. In the end, it's gone over the dead ball line. And Parramatta now give away possession to Canterbury. 40 to 50 metres out, they're back on the attack, the Dogs.
Michael Buechner takes the line drop out, and it does make you ask the question of the value of the charge down as Luke Goodwin goes running back inside the Parramatta 30-metre point. Lamb away, finding Gavin Hill. He's down inside the 20. Put down by Fernley on the one hand and Paul Dunn the other. Now Parramatta, Bella looking for work. That would be his third touch of the ball. Away from Parramatta again to Dimmick. They run the decoy. They come out wide. Pat Moore goes for the line. Finds Goodwin. Goodwin slams it down.
A beautiful play from the Canterbury side. They love to throw this ball around, and as the ball drifted out wide, they caught the Parramatta defence. Ended up just one missed tackle here by Tulson Tollett on Jim Dimmick, who didn't really commit himself to the man, and from there Patmore the inside ball to Goodwin. Plenty of Parramatta defence there, but not good enough. Great try to Goodwin.
He did well to get the ball down, Luke Goodwin. And again, we go back to the value of that charge down. Canterbury back in possession. Here's the missed tackle. Jim Dimmick getting on the outside much more. Had gone up quickly, was forced to turn around and chase. There was some cover defence coming across. Marn, Odin Ryan, just not strong enough. He had the momentum. Goodwin got the ball down.
First point of the game to young Luke Goodwin. 6 minutes had elapsed. Canterbury leading Parramatta 4 points to 0. And Gavin Hill has the attempted conversion from the sideline. Talking of that, Gene Miles.
Yes, Ray, I think you must give a lot of credit for the try for the Canterbury two front rowers in Martin Bell and Gavin Hill. They got the ball forward from which had Parramatta backpedaling. Also, very interesting to note that the Queensland selectors are here this afternoon to look at the Smith brothers and also Craig Parramatta and Martin Bella.
Gavin Hill now. 22 metres out. The breeze just across the flight. Just hooked it too much. No addition. Canterbury leading Parramatta after 7 minutes by 4 points to 0. Michael Buchanan bringing the ball back for the restart.
Beautiful work there from Jim Dimmick to make the bust. Just adds an extra dimension to this Canterbury pack. They can all use the football. And it takes a lot of pressure off the likes of Terry Lamb and Craig Parramatta having a back row that can bring players off their shoulders. Some poor dummy half and defensive work there around the marker area. Shane Flanagan caught out in the marker area. And Canterbury taking advantage of that.
Lamb a dummy half. Bella. I've made the point already, and I don't want to labour it, but he's looking for work, Martin Bella, today. Darren Smith. Wrapped up over the top by Dallas Weston. There was a little elbow forearm went in there from Weston. He might do better to leave that out of his bag of equipment as Luke Goodwin gets the clear in. Bounces badly for Scott Marn. Lee Odin Ryan goes back to support the blonde-headed fullback for Parramatta, but he's slammed to the ground inside his own 20-metre line. Odin Ryan goes away. Bella makes the tackle. Flanagan using Ericsson, coming in from his wing, making an extra forward. Good yards, getting it out 32 from his own line. Paul Dunn tries to find an opening between the markers. Flanagan feeds it back for the kick off the boot of Tollett. Not a big kick. In fact, Canterbury are going to come up with the ball outside their own 30-metre line. Brett Dallas decides to come across the park. Much more and Fernley made the tackle. Williams played for the Kiwis. Had a meteoric rise, Jason Williams. He was playing Metropolitan Cup football as recently as 2-3 years ago. Bella now to play.
And Williams struggling back into position, was hurt in that tackle as Canterbury go wide.
Good
tackle.
work.
Mark Horrow cleans up Terry Lamb. And Jason Williams receiving some attention by the trainer.
Darren Smith off for Parramatta on the blind side. He tries to burrow his way through. He's a strong little fellow. Dragged a couple of Parramatta forwards with him. Now, Geordie Peach gets the kick in, does well, had little room to work with, finds the line. About 7 metres into Parramatta's area with Canterbury leading 4 points to 0.
On this form, Martin Bella will be the first Queensland forward picked. He's in outstanding form. Loves to hit this ball up, and he's doing it. He's running a bit wider today. I notice he's been running at a couple of the smaller blokes like Tollett and Galbraith and making good yards.
Callum talking to both front rows. Galbraith comes away. On for Tollett. Big assignment for him today. 40 metres out from his own line. Mark Horrow. Yes, if he's got any nerves, Tulson Tollett, they're bound to come through today. Lining the great Terry Lamb in front of Terry's home crowd, and I would imagine a record crowd of that.
He also faced a big test last year, Ray, with Greg Alexander being out so often. The Penrith club, he played a lot of halfback up there in first grade, so he's had a fair bit of experience He's now in the 5'8" position, got the ball in his hands now, puts much more, well, not into a hole. Some great defence from Canterbury, but the Eels keep it alive.
Good work by Muchmore. In fact, Dunn flicks it out the back. They're keeping it alive like a hot potato. Muchmore fell into that tackle from Geordie Peets. I thought I'd say that in case we saw a penalty given. Odin Ryan. He's only got a chancy hold on that ball. Turnover. And now the penalty against Lee Odin Ryan.
Yeah, silly play there. Last tackle, Odin Ryan throwing the ball away. It was going to be a handover. You see here, good defence once again, and he's just thrown the ball out to try and slow things down. Will be spoken to now. And he's crossed Parramatta side 10 or 15 metres.
We've been playing the game a short time, Lee Odin Ryan, and I think it was only last year he confessed to Paul Vorton that he was still really learning about the game. Now Canterbury working play over the halfway mark with Martin Bella. Geordie Peets, Gavin Hill. Good solid defence there by the Eels, with Hill unable to get across the advantage line. Parramatta. Lamb out wide was Gillies. The ball goes loose and recovered there by Darren Smith. But Canterbury losing ground on that occasion. They're 42 out from their own line. Simon Gillies. Fairly quick play the ball, and this is Jason Smith, and that's good defence by the Eels. Flanagan and Weston.
Got a great shot in there, Dallas Weston on the last tackle. Scrappy play the ball. It resulted in a knock-on there. Parramatta will get the handover 40 metres out from their own line. We again saw the value there of Martin Bella hitting the ball up on that first tackle. 3 players went in to tackle him, and he still remained on his feet to play the ball. So basically took a couple of players out of the defensive line. That enabled the Bulldogs to get a roll.
Right on the halfway mark. Galbraith offloads for Tollett. Butner looked outside for Muchmore, who was coming on the inside. And Butner took the tackle of Gillies. He's working out fairly wide today, Simon Gillies. They, in that last backline raid, had him out in the centres. Now Weston goes galloping ahead. Good yards by the youngster. Tollett offload, short for Horrow, similar for Mann, and that'll find touch inside the 20. 4-0 in favour of the Bulldogs. Try scored by Luke Goodwin after some great lead-up work by Jim Dimmick. Andy Patmore, the replacement centre for Jared McCracken, did well. The try came after 6 minutes. Luke Goodwin was the man that put it down. Talking of Goodwin, of course, reminds me of St George fullbacks, the great St George fullbacks, and the greatest, not that he played fullback all the time, tremendous centre as well. Changalanglands is in this massive crowd today, and keeping company today with the one that they say was the best of them all, Johnny Raper. Neither of them in top health, but still able to smile. Canterbury with the ball, 32 out from their own line. Parramatta. In and away, he beat Mark Horrow, all hands up. Crossed the halfway. Patton, Goodwin, Lamb. Kicks out wide for Brett Dallas, but it goes over the sideline. Midway between the 20 and the halfway. Off the boot of Terry Lamb.
The last couple of kicks we've seen in this game haven't been that effective. Scott Mann coming in, finding touch only 10 or 15 metres down the paddock. On that occasion, Terry Lamb putting the bomb up, but the defence from Parramatta got up very quickly and forced him just to kick that little bit faster than he would have liked.
Nice piece of play too, wasn't it, by Craig Polamander. He's a sort of halfback. He's got a good passing game, but he varies his game very well. He knows when to pass and when to run and have a go at them. On that occasion, one-on-one on Horrow, beat him hands down, and away he went.
I think he's a little bit underestimated in his speed as well. He's very quick, especially off the mark. He's going to be a real thorn out there this afternoon. He's already started this game off in fine fashion.
That was a dreadful pass from halfback by Stu Galbraith, and Parramatta lost a good 15 metres, even though they won the scrum. Let's go down to the sideline, and nice to have him down here sunbaking under these beautiful skies in Sydney town. Gene Miles.
It's beautiful on the sidelines here, Ray, but I'm sure the big guys in both packs are feeling the pinch. At every opportunity in break and play, they're asking for their trainers to bring the water out to them.
Now, penalty goes to Parramatta. Canterbury inside the 5.
Well, Andy Patmore was the man caught out there. He'd snuck offside a little bit. They were a little bit unfortunate, the rest of the Canterbury guys, because it was a sloppy play of the ball. There's no doubt out wide, Andrew Patmore looking to get up quickly. That's the kind of defence this Canterbury side excel at, the umbrella defence. They get their inside backs up extremely quickly to force the opposition to turn the ball back inside as often as possible.
Gino, both these sides have beaten Brisbane this year. We haven't seen Brisbane since that gala day, the opening of QE2. They've won 2 since. Have they improved, eh?
Well, they certainly improved against Canberra. I don't know so much about Balmain. They got away at the 2 points, but it's good to see them back in the winning list, and the panic seems to have gone out of their play.
Fernley plays the ball 20 metres out from the Canterbury line. Galbraith offloads, Weston takes it up. All the enthusiasm of young Colt, he is. Weston getting up to play it. Flanagan offloads. They go left for Galbraith. Onward for Tollett. He reverses it now, and Mann can't handle. A Parramatta player dives on it. He's offside.
Shane Flanagan is offside. It was a move we saw put on by Parramatta against St George last week. Half opened up a hole. On this occasion, again, Scott Mann's timing on the run wasn't as good as it should have been. Terry Lamb came up with the important tackle, and Flanagan ruled to be offside after Mann dropped the football.
Good one now, finding the line with a good kick at Breeze. Though it looks only gentle, it's got a bit of strength up higher. And Parramatta are inside the 10, so Canterbury could be well tempted to take the kick at goal here. 38 out. I don't think they will, but it's well within kicking distance for Gavin Hill. Goodwin taking the kick for luck. Right into that old scoreboard corner. On top of which leads the sign Terry Lamb Family Hill from here on. And why not? Described by Peter Moore as the greatest bulldog of all time. And that is a wrap. Bella gets it away for Dimmock to promote, and Polamatta to take ahead and then offload out the back. Peach, though, is smothered. Gets a pass away that may have came off the legs. That's what McCallum said. He said play on. Dimmock gets up, plays it back for Bella. Now it's with Terry Lamb. Dummies one way, tries to make the break himself. Put down 15 out from the line. Jason Smith has gone to dummy half. Away to the right for Peach at first receiver. Now Gavin Hill. He steps through one, pull down 15 out on 5. Peach is the dummy half. Lamb holds it back, puts it through the hands, away from Dimmock, out wide for Patmore, now for Dallas! Dallas gets it down! Canterbury get their second try! They made it look all so easy!
And there's the value of Terry Lamb running the ball on the 5th. The Parramatta outside backs were hanging back, waiting for a crossfield bomb. It didn't come. And when Lamb threw the ball out, they're always in trouble, the Eels. There's a big effort. The player there, maybe it's much more, doesn't come up in the line. That created the opening. Andy Patmore running into space, and the beautiful pass outside, and away they went, the Bullies.
Yes, another try scored on the last tackle when the sides decided to run the football, and it was Robert much more out wide, who got caught in 2 minds. There you see he's gone back, had to come up into the line. By that time, Patmore had got inside Michael Erickson, and an unmarked Brett Dallas scores out wide. Been a very impressive start to this game by the Canterbury Bulldogs.
Third try of the season for Brett Dallas. Youngster who came up and played some first grade last year from the 21s. 3 tries, and he's held in very high regard here in Canterbury territory. He won the Rugby League Sprint just recently as part of the Botany Bay Gift Festival. And now Gavin Hill has the job of converting from out near the sideline, but this time he's got the Breeze with him. Previously it was just across the flight path. This time right behind him. And right behind him is a monster of a crowd over on that Terry Lamb hill. Gavin Sideline 23 out. He's given it just a little bit too much hook. And no goal. So Canterbury-Bankstown after 21 lead Parramatta in Monday Night Football by 8-0. Buechner bringing it back for yet another start for the Eels. And again, Peter, with that previous try, we've seen something that you've been promoting, and that is, instead of kicking it every time on that last, why not put it through the hands? That is when you've got more defence players out of the line than on any other tackle.
Well, that's exactly right, Ray, and the best time to attack is when the opposition don't expect you to. That's why the likes of the Brisbane and the Canberras are so effective in this game, because even 10 metres out from their own line, they're prepared to run the football. And I do think a lot of sides on the last tackle do relax. They've defended for 5. Here's Canterbury again making ground.
Parramatta breaks away. Jason Smith gave him the football, and Parramatta put down 30 out. Parramatta's defence at 6s and 7s. They try to regroup. Lamb gets it away. Darren Smith gives it out for Brett Dallas. Dallas is held 20 metres out from the line. 5 tackles gone for Canterbury. Jerry Lamb. This time he puts it in the air. Williams goes up. So does Odin Ryan. Odin Ryan comes down with it, and a touch judge goes in. Martin Weeks going in to make a report to Greg McCallum.
I'm just wondering if this is going to be on the chase from the Parramatta break, whether one of the Parramatta players was guilty of some interference.
Yeah, dead set. Jim Dimmick was taken out of play. He was moving back on the inside to back up the Parramatta break. Gene Miles on the sideline was right there.
Well, that was the pass from Jason Smith that found Parramatta. And there's Dimmick being taken out by Stu Galbraith. And that's the incident that Martin Weeks has come in on. It's a good piece of touch judging, because he's allowed play to go on. He's given Canterbury every opportunity to score the try. And now the penalty goes to the Bulldogs.
Not surprising to see Canterbury kick for touch here. They are on a roll. Parramatta at 6s and 7s in defence. Canterbury feel as though if they can score another 6-pointer here, or a 6-pointer, they might just have this game wrapped up after 30 minutes.
Bella. Plays it 20 metres out from the Parramatta line. They come to the blind. Dimmick serves the pass right onto the chest of Simon Gillies. Jason Smith away now. And again, Dimmick figuring in just about everything that's happening out there. Pete's into dummy half. Parramatta, short pass. Gavin Hill takes it to the 10-metre line. 8-0 in favour of Canterbury. Parramatta, the runaround is on with Lamb. They cut him out. Then Goodwin away for Darren Smith. Dallas looks 3 seconds. The defence, though, they converge and hold him out 5 metres away from the line. Back and away for Geordie Peets. Terry Lamb put down. There must have been a question mark as to whether he was tackled not in possession. Horrow.
Parramatta forwards not really hitting the advantage line when they've got in possession of the football. And even there we see much more. Took it from dummy half and didn't gain much territory. Canterbury players being called out. Saw something in the tackle.
I do think it is important now for Parramatta just to get a good set of 6 under their belt, and this is the best thing that could have happened for them. The penalty here to give them another set. Swinging arm there from Gavin Hill was a fairly ordinary one.
Geordie Peets.
Then Geordie Peets on the other side. But whoever it was, Parramatta will find touch now, and they really need to just get some control back, get some possession of the football. As Paul Vorton pointed out, just to make a few inroads, getting the forwards hitting that advantage line, as Western does on this occasion.
Let's go down to the sidelines. Gene Miles.
Yeah, Parramatta having to do the bulk of the defensive work, and now it's their turn to attack. And I know these big guys are finding it very hard to get involved because of the heat down there is unbearable.
Horrow plays it now, almost on the halfway mark. Buechner can beat a man, this youngster, Michael Butner. He plays it now. 38 metres out from the Canterbury line. Through two sets of hands and away from much more. I thought there might have been a head clash there between Dallas and much more. Mann is able to capitalise on the work of the centre three-quarter. Flanagan. Galbraith. Tollett. Flanagan. Fern. Burnley held up 32 metres out and now back for Tollett. And the bomb goes up into the breeze. Goodwin comes down with it. He's safe under pressure, Luke Goodwin. Dallas. Peach. Gillies.
So there's the difference between the two sides. Gillies getting over that advantage line, getting the ball right in line with the dummy half. That's what it's all about. Parramatta forwards are getting the ball 2 and 3 metres behind the dummy half, and Canterbury defence has got a lot more time to come up.
Played now by Jason Smith. Lamb away for Jim Dimmick. Dimmick thought he was almost, well, he was almost through, but I thought he was able to step out of Blair's tackle. Cameron was able to hold on to him, and Goodwin now puts down a huge kick, and it's gone over the touch in goal area.
Only half a metre in that one. And that's the area that Canterbury will kick to if they're looking to go long. The breeze going down into that corner. A fairly strong one. Seems to be picking up, something that Parramatta will have advantage of in the second half. The kicking game from Canterbury has been very good.
Dunn. Horror. 12 metres outside their 20-metre zone. Cameron Blair. Parramatta only lost the one this year, and that was to St George last weekend. Canterbury unbeaten. St George winning yesterday. Of course, Canterbury will join them on top of the table if they win today. And that is the Sunday football match for next week, the match of the day. I'm led to believe St George and Canterbury. As Tollett puts the kick over, it's fielded by Williams, but it's a penalty to Parramatta where the ball landed. He's ruled that the kicker was felled late.
Terry Lamb very upset with Jim Dimmick. You see a bit of tit for tat there.
It was actually Scott Mann that was taken out of the play. That was the penalty was given for that. Mann was running through in support, but Dimmick took him out. And now Parramatta, I would suggest they'd have a shot at goal here, 8-0 down. They've got to try and get some points on the board and try and take some pressure off themselves, and that's exactly what's happening. Butner has come up for what should be, well, it'll be a fairly difficult kick into this breeze.
But also the sort of kick that should go dead if Butner is to miss this one, and that's important. If they do miss the kick, at least they would get possession back. Gene Miles, as we're saying, it is important for Parramatta now to get some points on the board. 8-0 is a good lead for Canterbury, and might just settle them down and, of course, get them back to within 6.
Yeah, sure. Well, I think they're doing the right things now. They're putting the ball in the air all over the top of the Canterbury defence, and you know, that's turning the big guys around, and I think they've got to do that because the Canterbury defence has been first class up until now.
What's the talk like in the defence out there for both sides?
Well, Canterbury seem to be talking a lot more than Parramatta, and that's quite evident by the scoreboard, I imagine. But referring back to that penalty, I think it was more of Scott Mann running into Jim Dimmick than vice versa.
Michael Butner, 25 metres out. 12 goals for the year. And this time he's just off centre. His side trailing by 8 points to 0. Next Friday we go to Brookvale for the match there between Manly and Eastern Suburbs. Saturday to the Gold Coast for Gold Coast versus Newcastle. And here's Michael Butner now. 25 out, left the boot nicely. Flags go up. Parramatta gets their first points. Canterbury leading by 8 points to 2.
Well, that'll be a hard
for the restart.
That'll be a hard starter one for the Parramatta side. Got some points on the board, 8-2, puts them within a converted tries. Points of getting near the Canterbury score. Canterbury, I've got to say, they've had the best run of the play. They look very, very good. Parramatta struggling to make meters and to make clean breaks against the Canterbury side. Dallas Weston, I think he's been their best forward today. at least he's getting over that advantage on running hard and running fast.
Michael Erickson.
Running hard and running fast.
Running hard and fast.
Cameron Blair. Dunn.
There's another big difference you can see between the sides is the speed of the play the ball. Can be much quicker in that department, which allows the likes of Bella and Hill to take advantage. Well taken by Goodwin on the full here. Gets back to nearly the halfway line. And we'll see here in this set of 6 just how quickly the Canterbury side are able to play the ball and get to that advantage line. A swinging arm here from Marn will be penalised.
Scott Marn can ill afford to get into too much trouble with the refs. He's had a couple of goes at the judiciary in recent times. There was nothing in that up till that point.
Again, the man falling into it, but if you go in with a swinging arm, you put something in the referee's mind, don't you, Ray? Like, you don't put yourself in the position to be penalised. I agree that probably wasn't one, but from where the referee's vantage point was, it was a swinging arm. The players reacted to it. And Marn's going to be penalised.
6-4 the penalties to Canterbury. Luke Goodwin finds the line. 35 out from the Parramatta line, and Bella was the chosen battering ram for Canterbury. Did well too, brings a round of applause from this mighty crowd. Gavin Hill slides the pass away for Parramatta. He promotes it to within 12 metres of the line.
Danger out wide for Parramatta on the right-hand side. Terry Lamb with the ball. A cut-out pass finds Goodwin.
Knocked down by Erickson, so that's 6 more for Canterbury, and Simon Gillies picks it up. Dummy half is Goodwin away, and this is Andy Patmore, I do believe. In fact, it's Dimmick. Now to the blind side. Goodwin lets the decoy run. Dallas got around Erickson easily. Oh, gee. Brett Dallas gets his second try. Michael Erickson will not be happy.
Well, Brett Dallas recently won a race. He's the fastest man in Sydney Rugby League at the moment, Brett Dallas, and he showed it there, one-on-one on Erickson. And Erickson's got one in your toe, don't worry about that. But Dallas stood him up. There's nothing doing here, nothing at all, one-on-one, and away he went. And, great try to Brett Dallas. Great evasive skills and fantastic speed.
Yeah, as soon as you can put a man back on his heels, you're halfway to beating him. I've said that before, and on that occasion it was perfectly illustrated. Michael Erickson standing still. Dallas a big move. There's a hint of a shepherd on the inside with the cut-out pass. And that meant nothing because Erickson had a good shot at his opposing winger. You'll see here, it's Luke Goodwin. I thought Buettner was the man that may have been put out a little bit, but really it shouldn't have been a try one-on-one like that. Dallas just showing great speed, and he really does have to come into contention for a state of origin spot for Queensland. I know that Khan and Hancock look to have a mortgage on it, but this guy's done nothing wrong. And with the Queensland selectors here today, as Gene Miles has pointed out, that is something that might just stick in their minds as well.
Well, he's doubled his tally of tries in this match today. That's his second. In fact, the youngsters are very much to the fore in this match, with Goodwin 1, Dallas 2. Terry Lamb takes over the goal kicking, and up go the flags from a wide angle. 1,122 points for the great man. 14-2 Canterbury. Lamb converting the try. 35 gone.
Well, Ray, I can't remember the last time when Parramatta were in the opponent's 20-metre area. It's really been a dominant performance by the Bulldogs. They've had a lot of possession. They've utilised it very well. Their defence has been extremely strong. Parramatta, so many limited opportunities out there. I can't remember the last time they were in the 20-metre area or when they made a clean break. This is going to be their best chance.
Terry Lamb, I made the point, 1,122 points in his career. 97 tries, 353 goals, 28 drop goals in 186 and a half games for the club. And any wonder they've honoured him as they have today. Stu Galbraith bumps away from one, finds Tollett, but Tollett is outweighed by Darren Smith and forced back. Horrow gets it out from dummy half for Scott Mann. But everywhere they go, the Eels, there are blue and white jumpers there in numbers. Horrow, again wrapped up by Darren Smith. Flanagan away for Galbraith, then Tollett, now Buechner. Buechner stands, looks to unload, but eventually succumbs to the tackle over the top of Gillies. Now Galbraith. Done. Swarming in their numbers, Canterbury. Parramatta unable to get any rhythm about their attack. Tollett grubbers it down into the in goal and it goes in touch. So back to the 22 for the restart. The match drawing up to half-time. And 3 tries for Canterbury. 2 for Brett Dallas. And 1 for Luke Goodwin.
It's just relentless, the Canterbury defence. Every time Parramatta look like maybe they can offload or there's an inside pass on, the Canterbury defence it's forever moving. It's coming up and it's going in and snuffing out any chance the Eels have got of making a break.
Smith, Jason, brother of Darren, Simon Gillies. A number of brothers that have gone around in this Canterbury club. I just see Simon Gillies take the ball up. The Gillies brothers, the Mortimers, the Smiths, the Hugheses, just keep coming. Done away for Buechner. 25 out now from the Canterbury line. No joy here for Parramatta today. There's been none provided by Canterbury. Plenty of festivities for the crowd, but not much for care for the Parramatta visiting side. Gillies to play it. Midway between the 20-metre line and halfway. Bella running decoy. Lamb with a cut-out pass. Well, Patmore was entitled to catch that.
He was entitled to catch it and he was into some open space. It could have been another try to the Eels here. Beautiful pass from Lamb. Got him a bit high, but he's entitled to... Should have choked on that one and had support and Williams out wide.
Galbraith coming back to serve the scrum. Tollett, Buechner, Marnes coming up on the inside, now the outside, but Goodwin read it. Read the book and remembered the lines. Tollett. Done. Weston. Done again. 28 out. Flanagan. Galbraith. A bit of a juggle there, put a bit of hesitation into the Parramatta attack, and Bella snuffed it out. This is the last. Tollett using the bomb. Goodwin's underneath it. Not a lot of pressure. Mann cleaned him up pretty quickly, but they didn't really contest the jump.
No, Luke Goodwin having a fine game back in that position. He's been safe under pressure. He's come into the back line when possible. And this is another example of how good a young player he is. He leaves the ground, goes up for it, and safe as you like.
Gillies. Dimmick. Gee, he's been a great buy, Jim Dimmick, for Canterbury. Goodwin with that immaculate kicking style, taken on the fingertips by Leo Ryan. Outside the 40, tries to get between them with Mann on his outside, but tackled on the halfway mark. Mann away for Buechner. Out for Galbraith, Tollett, Eriksson. Unable to crack this Canterbury defence, though. It's been impregnable thus far, and talking of that, it is half-time. Greg McCallum acknowledges the half-time siren. A thoroughly comprehensive performance by Canterbury-Bankstown. Well, what have they got to do, Parramatta?
They've got to try and make some breaks, haven't they? We look at the line breaks here in the stats situation. Canterbury 5 breaks to 0. Parramatta couldn't buy a break if they tried. Canterbury's had all the ball, 57%, and they're playing too well. They're controlling it well too, which is the main thing, holding it for 6 on many, many occasions, 10 there to Parramatta's 7. And Parramatta, looking at those stats, have had to do most of the tackling. Conversely, with that, a lot of missed tackles there in 12.
You nearly wouldn't see a better set of statistics than that after the first 40 metres of football. As I said with Gene Miles, I don't think Parramatta have played that poorly, but Canterbury really have been on their game.
Parramatta through Michael Butner starts the second half, and that breeze that I spoke of a couple of times during the first half, if anything, it's come across the ground more than it is behind Parramatta for the second half. Geordie Peach just one step out from dummy half before asking Bella to take it beyond the 30-metre line. Gavin Miller able to get right across the advantage line.
And there once again see Hill. They haven't put Hill down, and that's the situation. They've got to put these forwards on the ground as Polomata find some space, but some sloppy Parramatta defence. But when they're not putting the players on the ground, Canterbury's getting a good quick play of the ball and getting the roll. And it's a charge down.
Charge down there by young Tollett. They won't catch him. He's racing 40 metres over to score. That's just the break that Parramatta needed.
Whoever questioned the value of a charge down? Great work, Tolson Tollett. The perfect way to start this second half. And was able to get to the kicker. It was Luke Goodwin. And then got the bounce that he required. Chase coming across from Canterbury. Did well, Jim Dimmick, to keep Tollett from scoring around closer to the posts. A perfect start for the Eels. Good work, Tollett.
Yeah, great enthusiasm there by Tollett, but Goodwin probably took 2 or 3 steps that he didn't have to take. Dimmick chasing in vain. And Tollett, great work by him. Got Parramatta back in the game.
Well, it seems that justice has been done to Parramatta. They conceded a try that was brought about by an unsuccessful attempt at charge down, and that equals the slate for them. Butner attempting conversion of the try by Tolson Tollett. "15 metres in from touch, 19 out. Strikes it, and just wide. So no goal for Parramatta. 14-6 now in favour of Canterbury. 2 minutes gone, second half. For the restart. And that was like a dream come true for Parramatta, Gene Miles.
Yeah, it certainly was, Ray. They definitely had to score the next points in the game. And let's hope that'll add a lot of enthusiasm for their forwards now to take the ball forward.
Well, here's a young man that's done that right through the day, young Weston. Ericsson. Burnley. Right around the legs, Gavin Hill. Paul Dunn. And that's 4 plays. They've got 1 left. Kicking on the earlier tackle. Tollett's kick going down for Luke Goodwin to come back off his 20-metre line.
Again, as Paul Vorton pointed out there, the player not ending up on the ground. Where Dallas goes across field. Every time a tackle is made, the player should end up on his back.
Darren Smith. And off to his brother, but Jason puts it down. So a scrum will form about 7 metres on the Canterbury side of halfway.
It's unlucky. Darren Smith evaded the tackle of Blair and got the one-hander out. And unfortunately for Jason Smith, he put the pill down.
4-1 the scrums to Parramatta. Tollett unloading for Butner. Tollett again, the run around with much more. Flanagan. Dunn. Weston. Running this time straight at Terry Lamb. Jason Smith was the chief tackler for Canterbury, though. Firmly. Galbraith for Tullett. Newton around as a decoy. Oh, that's a great tackle. Andy Patmore it was. That might have stung Young much more. Dunn tried to put the kick in. That has been ruled as a knock-on there by young Tollett. It was a charge down by Canterbury. And of course, when the ball is charged down with the ball rising off the foot, it's not a knock-on, so this will be a Canterbury feed. Jason Smith. Simon Gillies. Bella barging over the top of them. Dimmick goes down the ground. Not enough speed, Jim Dimmick. Great contribution to what's happened, though. Darren Smith out and away. That's play on. Dimmick was there. Now Dallas swivels away. Still going. Oh, that is a great try. That's his third for the day. Super try by the youngster.
Oh, and he's a redhead, Duty. Great evasive skills there by Brett Dallas. Did it all on his own. Didn't need any help. The only help he got was from the Parramatta defence, which laid off him. And away he went. Oh, sensational stuff. Let's go back there to the Martin Bella pass back inside. This is great football, Martin Bella. Offloading like I've never seen him before. And Jim Dimmick did the right thing. There was support there, but he couldn't get the decent pass. Took the tackle, and the doggies went from here. Parramatta defence, look, it's all over the place. They don't know what's doing. Darren Smith from dummy half. A sloppy pass back inside, but picked up and then to Dallas, and away he goes. Nowhere, plenty of defence there. It beats 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, about 20 of them, and over he goes.
Yeah, it's great work from Brett Dallas. Very ordinary defence from the Eels there. Tollett was the man who missed Martin Bella, and he was very instrumental in missing the try scorer on this occasion. There's nothing on here. The Parramatta defence have come back. Like, there's three players here. There's Tollett falling off the tackle. The tackle, though, was never going to stop the try scorer. It's 3 for Dallas. He's had a super match out there this afternoon. And Terry Lamb left with not that difficult a conversion attempt to extend the lead. 18-6 at the moment. You'd expect it to be 20-6.
So the boss has taken over the goal kicking now, it would seem, permanently. For this match anyway. And Lamb's kick hits the upright, bounces back in through the uprights, and so there's the conversion, and Canterbury lead by 20 points to 6.
Hit the upright. I've got to have a look at that one.
Did they move the upright?
Canterbury-Bankstown Bulldogs now 20, leading Parramatta 6.
Well, Gino, old Pumpkinhead himself, Les Jeeves, the Queensland selector, is here. He'll be pretty impressed.
Yeah, I must apologise to Brett Dallas. I didn't name him in the four guys I said that the Queensland selectors were having a look, but we're going to claim him now. He scored 3 tries.
Jason Smith now, just outside the 20-metre line. And turning it back, Jason Smith ducking under a tackle. 35 out from his own line. 20 points to 6 in favour of the Canterbury side. Bella having a sensational game. The ball coming out the back. Gavin Hill. And this is Jim Dimmick. Lamb beautifully onto the chest of Parramatta. Backs him up. Gets inside the 20-metre line, finds Dimmick, now it's away for Darren Smith. Oh, the entertainers, they're back in town. Beautiful stuff by Canterbury.
You won't see a better try scored this year than the one just scored by the Canterbury side. Terry Lamb, the backup man, was there on 2 occasions. A great ball to start proceedings there. Got a gain outside the Parramatta 5-8. Tollett. There's Terry Lamb. You'll see the cut out there. Craig Polamander. Good ball. A missed tackle there from Mark Corray, but Terry Lamb's got plenty of support. Jim Dimmick, a beautiful ball. Well taken by Darren Smith. But that's a great try. 6 or 7 sets of hands, half the length of the field.
Yeah, beautiful play. The in and away by Terry Lamb, which put Palomanda into the open space. And Lamb is a magical player, just magic. On the end of this is Darren Smith. Brett Dallas is outside him looking for 4, but Smith did it too easy on his own. And Greg McCallum has called out Dallas Weston on a couple of occasions now. Weston has gone high in some defence. He's missed with a couple of swinging arms, and just the caution being laid down to him.
Well, the referee's had a look at the players' numbers, so this may be something that will go on further after this game. Stu Galbraith quite upset by it all, and the fact that Weston has turned around for mine would mean that his number's been taken for further action.
That all started once again from the Martin Bella run, didn't it? Where he offloaded the ball out the back. He actually lost it and went from there. But Martin Bella's having a whale of a game. Gino, if you get a close look at him, just check him for a rash or something, because I don't want to tackle him.
No, that's for sure. He's certainly hitting the line hard and offloading. And, you know, that's why this side's the best attacking side in the competition thus this far.
(24-6). And Terry Lamb, 10 metres in and 20 metres out. 2 from 2 for Lamb, and that is a hole. Even Terry Lamb can make a mistake, but it doesn't really matter. 24-6, a whopping lead, 51 gone.
You can even have a smile about them when you're that far in front. They don't come off the boot properly.
Ladies and gentlemen, the New South Wales Rugby League.
He's had a big game, this man, Martin Bella. Most unstoppable. Parramatta now in all sorts of trouble. Really need to get their defence right. The mood that this Canterbury side are in, they're hungry for points.
Gillies. I didn't quite catch it in the background, but I'm pretty sure the ground announcer was just advising this multicultural day crowd that they've set a new ground record at Belmore. We'll get those figures for you. Hill, now Bella. Dunn coming over the top, and this time putting Bella to ground. Lamb, 27,804. So that's about 1 3/4,000 over the previous ground record. Now Goodwin kicks and chases, but Mahon comes in with Galbraith. Galbraith can't clean it up. It's gone away to Jason Smith. 6 more tackles, says referee McCallum. Gillies goes away from dummy half. If they push left, they've got to score. Lamb, though, he takes it to ground. They're 10 metres out. It's still on to the left. They come back the other way. Pull him out up. He's held 5 metres out from the line. Dummy half is Geordie Peach. Parramatta able to get their line in order now. Lamb stands and gets away from a would-be tackle from Mark Horrow. Bella bundled into the ground this time. Peach running from dummy half, running into space. Tried to link up with Gillies.
And Geordie Peach has gone down with an injury. He went down very quickly. McCallum asking him not to move. He's clutching at his left knee. Canterbury on fire. They're on fire. The doggies' eye. He's the knee locked, and down he went. Let's hope it's not too bad for Geordie Peach. Had a fine game around the rucks, making another incisive break here. It's not there. It's here where he puts his foot down.
And you see the pain on the face. Elbow going there. Maybe one of the ligaments.
Let's check this score. 24 points to 6 after 54 in favour of Canterbury. Centred on Geordie Peach. He's been one of the unsung heroes of many things that Canterbury have done in recent times. He's always on the ball, very busy. Doesn't get a lot of raps. It's hard to fault his work, though. Dimmick, players on both sides of him. He knew that Goodwin was going to be there. That's 6 more tackles for the Bulldogs. Bella got it out the back miraculously. Gillies it is that'll play it. 32 metres from the line. Gavin Hill. Dimmick. Bella. Well, he wants a piece of everything today, Martin. Peets. Parramatta. Dimmick. Well, that one misfired. Butner goes away for Parramatta. 35 out from his own line. Impressed, Gene?
Yeah, very impressed, Ray. They're certainly throwing the ball around, and Parramatta have got no answer. There is a change to the Parramatta side, Ray. Robert Muchmore leaves the field, and David Penner takes his place.
Penner on in 17 for Muchmore, off in 3. And this is Penner with that left thigh heavily strapped. Galbraith.
Just been a little bit off Stu Galbraith the last 2 weeks. Came into the St George game with an ankle problem, and we saw about 12 rucks ago when the kick was put through by Goodwin. He was the man that allowed the Canterbury players to come through and clean up. He had a simple task of just diving on the ball. Just the intensity not there. Canterbury now again in attack. Luke Goodwin tackle 28. Still keeps the ball alive. Just playing with so much confidence, the Bulldogs.
Dallas. 3 tries for the youngster today. Jason Smith, Terry Lamb. Now they've got numbers. Darren Smith back for Gillies, and they're up to the halfway mark. Dimmick. Parramatta. Dummies. Oops-a-daisy. Cameron Blair could be in trouble here. Blair is the man.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is here for any lost parents or any lost kids. Any lost parents or any lost kids, you're to meet behind the main grandstand here at Belmore. Thank you.
So Goodwin is going to take the kick for line. Here's the replay. Blair just leapt straight up around the head and the neck area. Now the tap to be taken by Peets. Here comes the big fella again. Gavin Hill. Lamb. 2 decoy runners. Goodwin comes around from the back. 5 metres out from the line. No markers, but he didn't face goal. That's a penalty to Parramatta.
Well, a lovely backline movement there from Canterbury. Put Luke Goodwin into space. Fortunately, Galbraith came up with a great tackle. A lovely sleight of hand there, a cut-out pass. Put Goodwin into a yawning hole. There it is. Well, one of the Parramatta players falling over, and you'll see Galbraith coming out with a good tackle. And from that movement, Parramatta awarded the penalty, a very timely one.
This is done. Galbraith, he knocks on. So, nothing going right there for Parramatta. Robert Muchmore about to come back on, and Stuart Galbraith apparently is to be replaced.
Replace number 3, Robert Muchmore.
I find that hard to believe, but...
Well, the trainer's just gone out and spoken to Galbraith. He's still out there, Canterbury with the scrum win. Terry Lamb looking for a man to come off him close. didn't do so, but it would be an unusual change, I imagine, if that was the case. Gene Miles Tollett maybe to halfback.
Yeah, that's the plan, Stillo. Tolson Tollett to halfback and Robert Muchmore to... David Penner to 5'8", and Robert Muchmore resuming in the centres.
This is Dimmick battling with the defence.
Ray, if that changes, mate, I do think it just does confirm that Galbraith's still not 100% as Bella up the middle. Oh, he's pushed off Shane Flanagan.
Flanagan went bouncing off. He actually hit the ground and bounced again. Here he goes. Flanagan.
Looked like one of yours, Paddy. You'd still be bouncing. And Shane Flanagan also leaving the field. Imagine to the blood bin. Yes, it is. There's the signal from the trainer. Horro ducks underneath the tackle, can't break through. Halfway through this second half, and Canterbury really doing it easily at the moment. Parramatta need to put some points on the board if they're to get back into this.
Gunn. And now Blair. Smith over the top. Lamb underneath. And though they might look for the gaps, they're just not there for Parramatta. It's been, again, to use the word comprehensive, everything that Canterbury has done. Windmill is on for Parramatta in jumper number 41. Galbraith for Butin onto the boot, and that's out on the full. So it comes back for the turnover, only 35 metres out from the line. Lamb giving it to Pat Moore. He takes the tackle. Williams, one marker, he went the other way. Williams went down the line, then he puts the ball over the line, and another try for Canterbury. Well, that was too simple.
Well, that is just dead set embarrassing for the Parramatta side. They've all gone to sleep. They're getting a Harry hiding here, and they know it. No match at all for the Canterbury side today, and the simplest of tries there. Look, Butin wasn't even onside, and one-on-one, and Williams beat the man tackle, and too easy.
Well, what can you say? The Parramatta side falling apart there. Jason Williams, some beautiful footwork there to beat Scott Mahon. An ordinary defence. Odin Ryan at marker went the wrong way. Butin slow to get back into position. 3 tries for Jason Williams. And it's been a smorgasbord for the wingers this particular afternoon.
I think it's all started in the forwards today, that the Canterbury forwards have simply outgunned and outpowered the Parramatta 6. Got right on top of them, and it's gone from there. Parramatta have had trouble putting the Bulldogs on the ground. And with Terry Lamb and Polamander, the inside backs controlling things, it's been too easy for the Dogs.
Lamb with 2 out of 3. That looks great. Flags up. Canterbury bolting away from Parramatta. Give us a slice of the real Lamb, eh? 30-6 in favour of Canterbury.
Conversion attempt successful by number 6 for Canterbury.
This was the try. You saw Odin Ryan. He gave himself up. He actually went from marker before the dummy half had to choose. And Williams picks up another try for the Dogs. Mutner straight down to Terry Lamb. Brett Dallas across the ground.
For Parramatta, Peter McPhail out there, their off-season buy from North Sydney is in jersey number 22 in the place of John Fernley. So plenty of troops now being thrown on to get some enthusiasm going in this defence. Some fresh bodies there.
Mark Brokenshire is also out there now for Canterbury in jumper 41. And Jim Sedaris in jumper number 22. He took the place of Geordie Peets earlier on. Goodwin. Torpedo punt right down to the Parramatta 20-metre line. Scott Mahon. Much more.
I honestly to say that I can't recollect a game where one side has been that dominant in defence that the opponents haven't made a clean bust.
We're still waiting for Parramatta's first bust, aren't we?
Well, I can't remember we've scored the try for Parramatta through the charge down, and I really can't remember a Parramatta backline movement or a break up the middle of the rucks. Here's Penner trying to bust it up with a little one over shot. Should regather. He's got Buettner on the right-hand side.
Penner wrapped up, 15 out by Darren Smith. Away now from Buettner to Dunn, and now Mann goes for the line, loses the ball.
Super tackle there by Luke Goodwin. They're leading 30-6, but their enthusiasm just keeps growing, the Canterbury side. They don't want any more tries scored against them. Mann looked home for all money here as he went through this gap. But Luke Goodwin coming around, beautiful tackle.
Broken shot. Darren centre is on for Canterbury and jumper number 40. As Gavin Hill plays the ball back to Jim Sedaris. Parramatta. Lamb went as the decoy. Then Goodwin. Now Gillies. Now back for Lamb. He's got players on his outside. Now on his inside. Patmore back. Dimmick is with it and pulled down 15 metres out from the line.
And Terry Lamb's on the left. Here he goes again.
Away from Goodwin. Patmore strolls in. Patmore gets a try.
Well, what can you say? Canterbury just really demoralising the defence here, making bust after bust. On that occasion, the replacement player, Jared McCracken, has come into the side. Beautiful short ball there for Simon Gillies. How many times has Terry Lamb done this in his career? Being the man to take the first pass after a break. Patmore finding Jim Dimmick. Robert Muchmore coming across. But no intensity to get back for Parramatta. They go on the left-hand side. Short ball from Goodwin. And it's all too easy. Sydney heads.
Yeah, so they've made Andy Patmore look like Reg Gasnier today, the Parramatta defence. He's a fine player, but Terry Lamb, not only does he back up, but he always seems to take the right option. On that occasion, he dummied to the left and waited for Patmore to come back inside on the initial break. And when that try was scored, I've got to say this, there was one Parramatta forward was still back on the halfway line.
34 points to 6. And I've got a feeling it's not over yet. The scoring. 3 from 4 for Terry Lamb. That is wide. So, at the Belmore Sports Ground, 34 points to 6. Canterbury over Parramatta in front of 27,750. Still 13 minutes to go. The Eels are getting caned here. The half century is not out of the question.
Well, they've scored 7 tries to 1 Canterbury, and the kickers have been offline. They've missed 4 or 5 kicks, so it could have been anything.
Played by centre. 21 is in the battle for Canterbury. Dean Pay. And McCallum will put a scrum down about 9 metres on the Canterbury side of halfway. Scintillating performance. Tollett, scorer of the lone try for Parramatta. Windmill. Dunn. Now, just outside the 20-metre line. Tollett. Away from Penner. Buettner. Then he accepts the ball on the runaround. And Penner will play it. 25 out from the Canterbury line. Telford Tollett. Paul Dunn. Blair running straight into the Canterbury defence. Still, it's been unbroken. Buettner's kick back down to the kicker. McCallum says play on, and Mann, he has a go. Standing his ground and standing tall was Parramatta. Williams taking it out from his own 10-metre line. Gillies. Chris Anderson with his coaching staff.
That's how tough the job is, Ray. 34-6, his team's leading. You wouldn't have thought so from the shot there. Malcolm Cliff sitting next to him. Done a great job with this side. Weren't that impressive in the pre-season competition, we didn't think, but once the season proper came around, they've done nothing wrong. And they have christened the Belmore Sports Ground this afternoon in the right possible way, their first game back here in 93.
Sets up a big game next week, doesn't it? Canterbury and St George here at Belmore, which we'll be covering. It'll be a fantastic game. Brian Smith, the St George coach, was out here today to get a look firsthand at maybe how he can beat the Bulldogs, but it's going to be a great game. Lock on there for the Parramatta side.
And if you've had 27,000 here today, was it Ray, or 28,000, can you imagine how many next week? They'll be closing the gates at 1:30.
I shudder to think if they put any more in here. Just repeating, a ground record crowd here today, a tremendous promotion based on the multicultures of the area, and they attracted 27,804. Lamb just fooling with them then. Darren Smith has tackled inside the 20-metre line. Away for Lamb again. Gillies goes skidding in to take the tackle. Goodwin. A little bit of that youthful enthusiasm coming through in Goodwin's game from time to time.
Yeah, shake of the head there. Can do some brilliant things on a football field, Luke Goodwin. I've seen him make a few mistakes in a couple of games, and I guess that comes with experience. Terry Lamb has actually moved into the halfback role every now and then. He fed the last scrum. Parramatta's there on this occasion, but he's just dominating his first receiver. It gives great options for the Canterbury side to have both Parramatta and Lamb in that first receiver position on both sides of the field. Oh, great shot there. Great shot, Mark Brokenshire on Darren Windmill.
Weston. This was that tackle that Peter was talking about, and it was a tremendous tackle by Brokenshire. 5 metres on the Parramatta side of the halfway. Still 8.5 minutes of this match to go.
Peter, you know Mick Cronin probably as well as anyone. How is he going to react to this? Is he going to look for changes, maybe just put it down as one of those days that they're outplayed? Would he be disappointed in their enthusiasm?
Well, I think he's got to be disappointed in many aspects of the game. You know, at half-time, the game wasn't over by any means at a 12-point deficit, but with the ease that the Canterbury side have been able to run away with this game, I'm sure that's the biggest problem. We see so many missed tackles. I don't know whether there'll be mass changes. We've seen quite a few replacements made late in this game. That might be an indication. Terry Lamb, a little one over the top. Ericsson there to clean up. Misses it. Dallas nearly got on the toe again. But as Michael Cronin said, after the performance against the Brisbane side in front of 51,000, it was no good in 10 weeks' time looking back and saying, well, gee, we played well in round 3 against Brisbane. This is 2 losses on the trot now, and it's got to be something that has to be stopped next week.
And 40-odd missed tackles that they have missed is a problem that he'll be addressing, no doubt about that.
Well, if you have a look at the scoreboard now, Canterbury in one afternoon have scored more points than Parramatta have had scored against them in 4 games.
The scrum has been won against the feed. It was preempted before McCallum called it back on the previous occasion. They still were able to do it. Such is the height of their confidence.
Cameron Blair penalised there for stripping the ball from Craig Parramatta, who's had a wow of a game out there, the halfback. You see the right hand. McCallum in good position there, wasn't going to be fooled. And Luke Goodwin moves up now to find touch. Won't look for too much here, finds it. 28 metres, 29 metres out from the Parramatta line.
Dean Pay, 20 out from the Parramatta line.
And 6 again.
And the ball lost. Coming away with it was Paul Dunn. Much more could be flung into touch. He is. Another scrum to go down 20 metres away, 25 in fact from the Parramatta line. And that was on the first tackle, so Robert Muchmore will not be all that impressed with himself. There's been plenty of others with him today that have been embarrassed on occasions by the Canterbury performance. Penalty goes to Canterbury. Tap by Parramatta, comes to Ericsson, stands him up and goes round him and puts it down. Parramatta scores for Canterbury.
Very smart thinking there by Craig Parramatta. The penalty went for Parramatta screwing the scrum. I thought Ray Price was back there for a minute. He was a champion screwer. And Parramatta picked this ball up, tapped it. Only one man to beat. There's the penalty. He sizes up the situation, has a look, and away he goes. 1-on-1. Ericsson has not had a happy day. And Parramatta, beautiful try to him.
Very quick thinking here. Nothing going right for Parramatta. Scrum penalty puts basically all those forwards out of play. 1-on-1. And reminiscent of Brett Dallas's footwork to beat Michael Ericsson in the first half. We've seen Craig Parramatta do it in the second.
4 tries for the year for Parramatta. It is the responsibility of the defending pack to hold the scrum, to hold it tight, to hold it on the mark. And that was the reason McCallum gave the penalty to Canterbury. Unsuccessful Terry Lamb. 38 points to 6, 76th minute of the game. Canterbury bolting away.
Score remains Canterbury-Bankstown Bulldogs 38, leading Parramatta 6.
Michael Butner. Slowly but surely we get us back for the restart, and Paul Dunn just tries to grub the shallow kick, and Canterbury awake to it, played by Sidaris. Brokenshire. MMI Insurance, they make the man of the match available on this Easter Monday, $1,000 prize.
And we're just discussing that now, Ray. We've narrowed it down to 8 Canterbury players. We've worked out about $125 each.
Lamb. Charge down, that's play on. Gillies away. Goodwin, he looks for his second. Out she goes. Dimmick gets it away. Lamb for Patmore. Now for Williams. He gets his second. And Canterbury, they go past the 40 point. 42-6 now.
Oh, boy. Well, at this stage, you start to run out of superlatives, don't you? But also, when a side is in this frame of mind, the bounce of the ball does always favour you. Terry Lamb, the kick charge down. Simon Kick straight through. This has been the inefficiency of the Parramatta side. There's 3 defenders, 4 defenders there, unable to stop the football. Tollett brushed off. Odenwright coming across. Jason Williams collects his, second, I think. Three tries for the other winger. There's 5 between them out wide. Luke Goodwin, the big right foot step. Paul, I've run out of words.
Oh, there's simply sizzling footy there. When you're hot, and the doggies, they've carved up the Eels. So this reminds me of Manly Parramatta 64-12. Fond memories of that one.
What about that one? We led 18-12 after 20 minutes.
Lamb from the sideline, well offline.
Oh, he just doesn't care anymore, Terry Lamb. He's around the corner, everything now. He'll try a left-footed in a minute.
42-6. 42-6.
It'll be a cruel game, can't it? A game that started off so promisingly for both sides. Parramatta really, they're going through the doldrums here, which we've seen on occasion from the last couple of years. It's going to be tough for them to regroup this week, but that's what the Winfield Cup is all about. Canterbury 5 wins on the trot, and none more emphatic than this. you want
what
to
can
bring
they
up
do now?
a 64-12 scoreline anyway?
Just I felt they were similar games, you know, where one side completely dominated the game from start to finish and ran roughshod.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, look, I'll tell you,
Peter, just let him go.
Russia.
Just let him go. 99th meeting of these two clubs. I mentioned that earlier, and Canterbury up to this point in time had won 51-43, with 4 of the matches drawn.
And last year, Ray, even though the Parramatta side finished 15th, they weren't beaten by Canterbury last year. They won the game in Perth, and they had a 16-all draw in the other game. So they'd have gone in reasonably confident into this match. They've won this scrum 30 metres out. David Penner going to the line, taken by Lamb front on. And we're into the final 30 seconds here. And they're trying to finish with a flourish, windmill up the blind.
Well, it'll be a merciful sound, won't it, for some of these players out there. I'm talking about the Parramatta players, because they came here, their spirits were high, and why wouldn't they be? But today they've just been absolutely outplayed. That's been said before. The crowd counted down. Many hundreds of them are gone on home now as Mann puts it in the air. This is the last play of the day. It comes down with Canterbury. McCallum, he says that's enough. There's no need for any more. 42 points to 6. Canterbury-Bankstown Bulldogs defeating Parramatta Eels 42 points. As Paul Vorton said, they were white hot today. Young Dallas in the background, he got 3 tries. Williams got a couple. Goodwin got 1. Patmore got 1. Parramatta 1. And we're probably still missing one somewhere along the line. But 42 points to 6. In front of a ground record crowd of just upwards of 27,800. Congratulations to the Canterbury club, both on and off the field. What you've done today was something very special, and I'm sure you've made those people that have made their homes here in Australia feel even more at home with what you've done today. Come in their thousands, they've enjoyed it, and it couldn't have been a more appropriate Australian day, with the sun shining down and Canterbury, the home side, registering one of their all-time great wins against their modern-day arch-rival Parramatta. 42 to 6. They embrace Goodwin and Bella. Why wouldn't they? There's the little fella, the boss, Terry Lamb, soaking it up. They named the hill here today after him, the Terry Lamb Family Hill. And they packed in there too, like never before, to honour the greatest Bulldog of them all. Sterlo joins you after this break.
Quality has seen Canterbury maintain their unbeaten status for this season by defeating Parramatta 42 points to 6 here at the Belmore Sports Ground, and a swag of try scorers, 9 tries to 1, the Bulldogs winning this one. The wingers, Dallas and Williams, 3 for Dallas, 2 Williams, and 1 try for Parramatta, Patmore, Darren Smith and Goodwin. Terry Lamb kicking 3 from 7. For Parramatta, the sole try scorer was Tulson Tollett. Michael Butner 1 from 2. Paul Vorton, we've seen a lot of games this year. Is that the best win that you've witnessed?
Well, it's what you call getting smashed all over the park. The Parramatta Eels had no answer to Canterbury. Canterbury were dominant in every facet of the game, from defence right through to their brilliant attack. Terry Lamb was fantastic. He guided the young Bulldogs to the win. It was the best win I've seen all year.
Well, it was the kind of win where they did not have a bad performer. Very difficult task to pick our MMI man of the match, but the man we chose is now with Gene Miles.
Our MMI man of the match today goes to the Canterbury halfback, Craig Parramatta. Craig, on behalf of MMI, congratulations, first of all.
Thanks, Gino.
Mate, obviously a great win in front of a record crowd.
Yeah, well, we knew Parramatta were going to be hard, and we stuck it right to them from the start. And we worked and worked and worked, and it just finally came together. All the balls bounced our way, and we just tried to give the crowd a ground record, actually 27,000, the greatest game we could today.
I don't know if you're familiar with it, but the State of Origin selectors are in the stand, so I'm sure you impressed them.
Well, I can only play my best, and if I get picked, that's good. it'll be top off a great year.
Yeah, mate, once again, congratulations, and I'm sure you'll put that $1,000 to great use.
I'd just like to thank MMI and Channel 9. Thank you.
That's back to you, Pete.
But the perfect ally for Terry Lamb in this side, Craig Polamander in the number 7 jersey. And Paul, it really could have gone to any number of players.
Well, Martin Abella was in the running until he was forced off. He was outstanding up front, charging in amongst the rucks, the Parramatta players flying around like 9 pins. And Brett Dallas in the wing, he went very close too, you know. He scored 3 tries, 2 of them. He turned the game, though, individual efforts, and he had a great game.
Well,